Coming up, Coach Cal says goodbye to the Big Blue Nation.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Longtime basketball coach John Calipari is parting ways with the University of Kentucky. Tomorrow, he is expected to be introduced as the new head coach at Arkansas. Cal sent a 4-minute message to the Big Blue Nation on social media today. Here's a small portion of that.
The last few weeks, we've come to realize that this program probably needs to hear another voice, that the university as a whole has to have another voice giving guidance about this program that they hear. And the fans need to hear another voice.
UK students are obviously buzzing with speculation and emotion. Jeremy Toms talked with some of them on campus this evening about their thoughts and feelings towards this major shakeup in Kentucky basketball. He continues our Big Blue coverage.
Spring is a time for new beginnings, but Big Blue Nation still isn't ready for what's been sprung on them.
It's not going to look right. He's always going to be UK Coach Cal.
The possibilities swirled around campus like raindrops in the wind until rumors became reality.
Since I was 4 years old, that's the only coach I've ever known. It's just like Coach Calipari. That's just who he is. He's just at Kentucky. That's where he's at.
Current UK students grew up with John Calipari's Kentucky Wildcats. Parting from that will be bittersweet.
I mean, no student will just say that they aren't going to miss Coach Cal. I'm going to miss Coach Cal. He was in itself a part of UK basketball.
As for what comes next, of course these Cat fans are thinking about all the biggest names in the sport. But beyond that, they also want to find someone who holds in high regard this university's illustrious basketball history.
I think we just need a coach that's passionate about the legacy. This is a school that's produced a lot of people in the NBA, but if that's your only goal, then sometimes the school's goals can get put behind, and that's just not a good look.
The disappointing results lately leave some fans to think that the time is right for this.
But I just feel like recently he hasn't been the same guy. He hasn't been that winner.
But others are left to wonder what a team without Cal will bring.
Even though everyone wanted to kick him out, like if we don't have a coach next year that has a better result, people are still not going to be happy.
In Lexington, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
We are also hearing from Ellen Calipari about her husband's departure from the university.
Being a coach's wife is a different thing than being the coach, and you just have to be supportive of what they're doing, and if he feels like it's time to move on, I have to support that, and it's not easy, and we will miss a lot of things about Lexington and the University of Kentucky.
Ellen Calipari also says she hopes the things her and Coach Cal have done for the university and the state of Kentucky leave a lasting legacy. Well, it's certainly shaping up to be a busy few days ahead as the search continues for the next coach, players decide their futures, and Coach Cal begins a new chapter. Our coverage continues online inside the WYMT News app and on WYMT.com.
Well, the weather is also busy over the next couple of days. We see plenty of rain chances tomorrow and possibly some strong storms by Thursday. But tonight, most of us are dry on first alert pinpoint Doppler, watching out for possibly a few spotty sprinkles south of the Howard Rogers Parkway for places in McCreary County, also pushing into Whitley County, and same story for eastern Knox County, moving into Clay County, also pushing into Leslie and Harlan counties at this hour. Those current temperatures are warm on this Tuesday evening. Most of us in the middle to upper 50s, up to 57 for Pikeville, also in London, 58 for Jackson, and 58 also in Irvin at this hour. Most of us see middle to upper 50s to wake up and walk out the door on Wednesday. Only a small chance of a few passing showers tonight, but higher rain chances are set to return as we go into early parts of your Wednesday. So a first alert to once again pack the umbrella as you wake up and walk out the door. As we stay soggy at times on Wednesday, highs are back in the middle to lower 70s. We stay cloudy and also watching out for possibly a few strong storms by Thursday. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has vetoed House Bill 5. That's the so-called Safer Kentucky Act. This comes on the last day of the veto period during this legislative session. House Bill 5 is a sweeping criminal justice measure that creates harsher penalties for several crimes, but opponents have claimed it essentially criminalizes homelessness. The governor also said the bill did not consider financial impact and indicated it would lead to higher costs for incarceration. Kentucky lawmakers returned to Frankfort on Friday when they could override the governor's vetoes. Governor Beshear has also taken action on the state's budget bills, issuing line item vetoes on both House Bill 1 and House Bill 6. These bills outline crucial funding allocations and have undergone scrutiny in the legislative process. Governor Beshear made 2 stops in eastern Kentucky today to celebrate some major projects in 2 counties. WYMT's Jack Demler has more on that from Floyd and Pike counties.
From celebrating 11 new higher ground homes in Floyd County
to see 11 homes framed, maybe another one coming, families moving in this summer, it's really special.
For families impacted by the flood of 2022,
I was flooded not once but twice in a week, and I lost everything I had.
To cutting a ribbon to a new senior citizen center in Pike County.
It's important that we take care of those who are most in need of support, and senior citizens are one of those groups.
Governor Andy Beshear's trip to eastern Kentucky was an indication of brighter days ahead for some.
Well, today you see faith in action, and you also see a unity in and of purpose.
A purpose to help rebuild the Commonwealth. In Wayland, families got to see the progress made on their new homes being constructed next to the Wayland Volunteer Fire Department.
It represents a rebuilding, a rebirth, and a restart for those that were flood affected.
Oh, you have no idea how excited I am, because I mean, it's something that I've always wanted, you know, because I've lived across the creek there. But but it's just wonderful to be able to have a place, you know.
Followed by a celebration in Pikeville of a new building to support an entire generation of people.
It's a way for seniors to come together, to socialize, to spend time together, to play games, to share a meal together.
Bringing a better quality of life across eastern Kentucky. Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
While those families in Floyd County are not ready to be moved into their homes just yet, they are still hoping to have all the houses complete this summer. Meanwhile, Ray Jones says the new Senior Citizen Center in Pikeville should be ready to open in about 3 weeks. The Arizona Supreme Court says the state must adhere to a 123-year-old law barring all abortions except in cases to save the mother's life. The legislation from 1864 also carries a prison sentence of 2 to 5 years for abortion providers. The ban takes effect in 14 days. Abortion rights advocates have been collecting signatures for a ballot measure this fall to restore abortion rights. The parents of Michigan high school shooter Ethan Crumbley were sentenced today. Jennifer and James Crumbley were found guilty of involuntary manslaughter in separate trials earlier this year. A judge sentenced James Crumbley to 15 years behind bars. His wife Jennifer received a 10-year sentence. They are the first parents in the U.S. to be held criminally responsible in their child's mass shooting at his school. Ethan Crumbley pleaded guilty and is serving a life sentence for killing 4 fellow students in 2021. Tomorrow marks 1 year since 5 people were shot and killed in one of the worst mass shootings in Louisville's history. Tonight, flowers were laid at the steps to the entrance to the former Old National Bank building. 8 others were injured in that shooting, including LMPD officer Nick Wilt. Old National Bank workers will participate in a walk to remember tomorrow to honor the victims and their families. Governor Beshear is expected to participate in the ceremonies there. He lost friends in this shooting. They're also hosting several blood drives in partnership with the American Red Cross. Incoming freshmen will have more time to decide if they want to enroll at the University of Kentucky. The school is extending its confirmation deadline to May 15th for first-time students. UK's traditional confirmation deadline is May 1st. School leaders say the extra time will give students who are still waiting on federal student aid more flexibility. The free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, is working through a backlog of applications due to ongoing issues with applicants' tax data. Several other local universities have also extended their deadlines. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, the president and CEO of Want East Kentucky discusses progress and projects in the mountains.
And more hit or miss showers are on the way tomorrow before possibly some strong storms on Thursday. Your forecast coming up.